That shit extra.
Welcome back to the only three to deep, the big three, the only three to deep three NBA show. I am your host Miguel Fernandez alongside Nicholas Lujan.
Yes, sir. We back at it again. NBA show. What's up? You wanna announce it? We're on like pretty much on a different platform now.
I mean, it's the same platform, but we will be streaming our podcast live moving forward after this one.
Yeah, after this one, and we're gonna be on Spotify.
Yes, we've
That's
been
some big
added to
news.
Spotify now. We're gonna be on Google Podcasts as well.
Yes,
I think we're gonna
sir.
be on Amazon too.
Yes,
So we're
sir.
moving up. Taha's starting his new podcast too about pro wrestling, WWE, AEW. That's his thing. Think he's gonna go weekly on that one.
Yes, sir. So check his out. It's all gonna be under the Deep Three too. So you just what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Joe.
type in the Deep Three Network. It's on his. He has his own on his own feed, his own podcast on Apple and Spotify. You can get that everywhere you listen to your podcast at.
Yes,
But
sir.
today, this is probably one of the most fun topics that we're going to do all season long. All NBA teams. But
Yes,
before we get into that, we gotta shout out the Kansas Jayhawks for winning the national championship last night, fighting through adversity, coming back from down 15 or more, beating North Carolina
I'm I'm pretty sure they said something like it was probably the largest comeback in the
in the
finals,
national championship game.
the national championship game.
Wouldn't
They
be
were saying
surprised.
that it was 15. Obviously, you know, saying they were at halftime. North Carolina was just looking good, just out rebounding them and everything. So
Yeah, it was
it was
40
just
to 25 at half.
yeah, it was ridiculous. That game was good, and they beat Villanova too the round before. They just demolished them through the first minute. I mean, they just took over, dominated that game too. You know what I'm saying? They were just looking good. Abachi didn't have it as great game, but he was that still effective doing his work. You know what I'm saying? They have a great center too. He's a great shot blocker. He was great down there too. So shout out to them, dude. It was a great win for real. North Carolina also played good though. It was like hell of a game though.
Yeah,
So shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? The pace of the game was just great. It reminded me of the same game when Villanova and North Carolina played. Like it was just fast paced. I mean, obviously every final game is gonna be fast paced, but it was just
I see it the other way around. I see it as the deeper it goes, the slower it gets. But it's college, so I'm thinking about it as a playoff
yeah. But
basketball.
when I watched it,
Hmm.
it just seemed like fast paced, and watched the highlights again too. And like when I woke up, because I got to watch halftime, so got to watch all the full highlights and then the extended highlights, and it was fast paced for sure. So it was just hell of a game.
Yeah, just a great run in general for Kansas this season. Hell of a season for them. Capping it off with a tournament when they go through, beat North Carolina in the championship game, beat down Villanova in the Final Four. Just wasn't even close. Beat Miami in the Elite Eight, which was a streaking Miami team that was catching fire, surprising everybody. Beat the fourth seed at Providence in the Sweet 16. They had a great season, and then the second round being Creighton, who I thought played great basketball in the tournament up until then. Well, the first two rounds.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Abaji, he's looking like he's going to be a maybe top 15 draft pick, maybe definitely a first rounder.
His stock definitely went up
I
after.
think I have him top 15, maybe even top 10, depending on who's there. Like he'll be a good fit on. I want to see him go to a playoff team next year as well.
Yeah,
Like I want to see him get drafted by one of these teams. Like I know the Grizzlies are gonna have a lot of picks this year in the upcoming draft. He's a Grizzlies player for sure, but he's also a little small. But I want to see him. I think he's gonna be able to have a good impact right away. Something a la Ayo Dosumo. He just
mm.
came in. He was already a older rookie. He had an impact immediately.
Do you, do you think his stock goes up definitely after the his
I don't
performance in
think his stock was really
the
affected.
March Madness?
I don't think his stock. I don't. I really don't think he played. I think he played well, but I don't think he stood out so much that his stock is gonna rise.
Yeah,
I think he's locked into where he's at. He's gonna be a lottery pick. He's gonna be. he's gonna be a guy that comes in and helps the team out right away. Defensively, shooting the ball, just veteran, just a vet, a young vet. And then we have Christian Braun as well, shooter, 3 and D. I think he's gonna get some first round looks as well. I wouldn't be surprised. Every team needs a shooter, especially with size.
Oh yeah. What about
And yeah, going on to North Carolina side though.
yeah, I was about to say North Carolina. They got probably like three guys. Brady Maniac, yo, man,
Is he an NBA player though?
yes, though he could work the post and shoot. I've been
But
telling you he could.
but what's the difference? Keep it bucket, keep it bucket me. What's the difference between him and a guy that you just have just ignored this entire time
I know
because
who you're gonna
you don't
talk
want to
about.
discuss it?
I know who you're talking about.
Are they not the same person? I'm the same type of
No,
player.
no,
They are. I don't know if he's an NBA player, but
yo,
he's gonna get looks.
I
I
know who
think
you're
a
talking about.
guy
You
we
know what,
should be
Drew
discussing
Simmons.
is Caleb Love. Yes,
But
that's what
they
I was
are
talking about.
similar. They are
That
very
is.
kind of similar. But I don't know. I think Brady's a way better shooter, and I don't know.
I think the guy we should be discussing is Caleb Love.
Yeah, he's Karis LeVert,
Oh, that's bull.
comp.
That's bull. That's bull. Style player for sure. Here's the yeah.
I'm talking about like.
Yeah, like that's a they
Hi.
play the same style.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck volume scores. They can make tough shots. And how about Armando Bacot? He's probably the guy on this team that's up to his
Yes,
stock the most.
he's been so good. He's just been
Going
so good.
for 15 rebounds, 21, 22, 15, 16. Like he just averaged 13 rebounds a night this season.
Yeah,
16
it
and
was just
13.
crazy. Yeah, and yesterday he went 15 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block.
Yeah, he's somebody I definitely got to add to the big
But
board
he
just off of
shot
that.
horrible, I'll tell you that. But he's a great free throw shooter, which is surprising.
Yeah, I want to see what did he shoot on the
He shot
season
he
from
shot
the
9 for 13 from the free throw, but yesterday
67% on the season. Oh, that's not good.
but he shot 9 for 13 yesterday from the free throw.
Yeah, that's yesterday. I'm talking
You're
about on the
right.
season.
But the field goal and he shot bad from the field goal, but I mean he still had 15.
It's a 1 game sample size, so you can't really pull nothing from one single game.
Yeah, but I mean a center like that is always comes in. It could come in handy for sure. Like just
Yeah,
off
it
the
could
bench,
definitely be
just
uh
off the bench. He could be a great pickup. Just having
like a second round flyer on a guy.
yeah for sure. Or he, I wouldn't be
I,
surprised.
it will be
Late.
hard for me to see him go in the first round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes late first rounder.
It will be hard for me to see him go in the first round. But you never
Because
know.
after you know saying the what 2015, it's gonna get tough because some teams might need a center or like a backup center, and he's a great pickup. Honestly, just
I don't know if
you
you're talking
see,
about the center position, just a deep draft, bro. That's
it
where I
is
think it's gonna push him back
but
because it's like a
he
deep
just
draft at center.
he reminds me of like a better version of Andre Drummond.
I guess
I
so.
think a better shooter. But he does have an ugly release if you watch it. His release is
'Cause he's
bad.
not a shooter. He's really just a rebounder.
He be taking them
Could put
so
it get. He's like a board man, offensive rebounds. He's gonna eat. He's one of
yeah.
those guys. I don't really know who even. Like I don't even know who to compare him to. It's just such a. I've never even thought about that. Like comparing him to like an Andre Drummond. He has a little less size than Andre Drummond does. How tall is he? Do they have his height? 6'10", 240. Junior. I don't know.
He
That's a
is.
tough one for me to make a comp. But he could be solid. Yeah, it's just like the center position is stacked in this year's draft. Like, are you taking him over a guy like a Christian Coloco from Arizona? Would you? I think I might be taking Coloco over him.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Walker Kessler. I don't know. I'll probably take him over Kessler. I'm not that high on him, but he's high on some big boards. There's a lot of guys.
I think he'd get picked up, man. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised.
he's gonna get drafted though.
But I'm talking about like first round. I could see it. I could see
We'll
it.
see. We'll see how that
After his
plays out.
performance, I think it could help.
We have a couple new a couple storylines that broke this past week. Ben Simmons is not going to return for the rest of the season or play in tournament. How does that affect the Nets moving forward? Do you look at him any differently? Or do you expect him to get anything from him at all?
For sure, for sure. I think it affects him a lot. One, because the defense. If
Mm-hmm.
him on the lineup, it's gonna help a lot. Obviously, him to the lineup is gonna help. You know what I'm saying? It's a great pickup for them. Honestly, it's just he has some. He's
Yeah,
gonna have a
help
different role.
for sure.
He's gonna have a whole different role. You're not expecting him to be out there to score when you got two main ball handlers. You're out there. He's gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying? Handle the ball, move the ball around, to set up his teammates. These two scorers. And if you can't get, you know what I'm saying, nothing going, you can always go to KD, who is a great, you know what I'm saying, he knows what to do with the rock. He'll get something going. But he's gonna have to play defense. So, and then him needing him, they're not a great defensive team. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a very important part for that, especially in the playing in
Yeah,
the
for
end
sure.
in the playoffs. So, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, I think a playing tournament they would have loved him out there because
and it
if you're
sucks
going up
that,
against a team like the Hawks,
and it's
you throw
crazy
him on
that
a Trey Young.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy that he was, you know what I'm saying, out the whole time, you know what I'm saying, not even playing. But it tells you, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't keeping his body ready. So
Dude, I
you
want to
could
ask you
tell
something. I
his
want to
mind,
ask you something about that.
you could tell his mindset still hasn't changed.
Let me
So
ask you something
thank
about
God
that.
we traded that boy.
Does this make you think that he's had the back injury the whole time? Because he
Nope,
has a history of back injuries.
nope, nope, nope. He could have played. He was already training and all that. You know what I'm saying? He just
But I'm
didn't
saying,
show up
what if
like
he
the first
injured it
couple of
while training? Yes, he was sitting out. And he was definitely there was definitely videos and pictures of him. He was training at nearby colleges in Philly, this and that.
But he wasn't.
Do you
But he
think he
was
could have
supposed to.
injured himself before the season?
I doubt it. I want to say that.
I think there's a chance that he could have. I think there's a chance that he could have done that. Because I think he's been out for this long.
I
There's
doubt it.
not, but your back does flare up. I don't. He has a history of back injuries. Like he got one when the year COVID started, that season, and Brett Brown came out and said that if the season didn't get put on pause, he wasn't gonna come back. He was gonna miss the rest of the year.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So
It was
we'll
great
see what
time.
happens. I don't know. I think he's probably done. He's probably not gonna play the playoffs. Maybe if they're like conference finals, what are you gonna do? Throw him in off the bench? That's to look like
Oh
who
yeah.
like where? How does he come back?
I mean,
What
at that
role does
point,
he have?
if you could come
I think it's
and
too
play a
much.
couple minutes, he better play.
I think it's too much to do that.
You think so?
I
You
don't
asking
think
too
you
much
could.
of him?
Yeah, a guy who's never is different from like a Stephen Curry situation where he's gonna miss and he's gonna come back during the playoffs. Like he's expected to come back first round or whatever, however it goes, or Robert Williams. It's different from that situation because they've played with those teams all season long. Ben has literally never. I don't even think he's practiced 5-on-5 yet. So you're gonna throw him in. You're gonna get what 2 weeks of practice, maybe some reps, and that's you're just gonna throw him into the fire. A guy who's notoriously a bad playoff performer can't do it.
No, yeah.
I think you can't count on him for the rest of the season. It's over. Next year, that's when it's. They gotta hope so though, because I was hearing it today. Shout out to Winhurst. I know you don't fuck with his podcast, Hoop Collective. I like it. And they were discussing the same topic, and one of them brought up that their future is really based on Ben Simmons. Like he's their young player. He's the guy with the most time. He hasn't reached his prime yet. He has the most years left in the NBA out of that big three. Kyrie's injury prone. Kevin Durant's injury prone. So they're really like it's in a couple years it's gonna be Ben Simmons' team.
No, yeah, for sure. I agree. I
So the
agree.
future of the Brooklyn Nets is based on Ben Simmons' development and a Cam Thomas. And one more thing, Kessler Edwards is on a two-way right now, so he can't even play in the playing tournament. That's crazy, and he's giving them good
What?
minutes all season long.
Why
He's
can't
on
he
a
play?
two-way contract.
That's
Two-way
why.
contracts can't play on the playoffs.
Not even playoffs.
No, they can't. Two-way contracts are regular season only. Because it's like when you're on the G League, you bounce around from G League to the NBA team. That's the two-way.
Yeah, for sure. So damn, that's
So
so he
so
wouldn't
he's not
even
eligible for it.
to even play in the playoffs,
No.
even if they make it. Wow, that's wild.
So that's like I wouldn't say losing a yeah, it kind of is losing a rotation player. He's giving them good minutes
He
this season. I
is.
don't know his minutes have been going down throughout the year, but nah, he's been a solid player for them all
He's
year
been
long.
the top three best defenders this season.
That's a bold statement.
Top five. I mean, it's up there. You know, so they don't have that many great defenders.
Yeah, like Bruce Brown, would you say has been their best defender this
Oh
season?
yeah, yeah. Bruce Brown obviously is their best defender.
Like, it's like Bruce Brown, Clax, KD,
Yeah, KD. Yeah.
a motivated Kyrie.
Oh man, stop it.
The motivated Kyrie is a two-way player, bro.
Oh man, stop it.
You seen it? You seen it live on TV against the Sixers. That's
It's
a
not.
motivated Kyrie.
He had a good game. He had one good game. He
Another
hasn't been the same ever since.
nah for real. Another topic I do want to discuss though. So the Grizzlies have been stacking wins. They've been making everybody wake up, take them seriously this season. Come playoff time, rotation shrinks. Who are the 8 to 9 guys that are in the rotation? I'm gonna list them off, and you just tell me yes or no. Locks
But who?
is John Morant.
Oh yeah,
Locks, John Morant, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks.
That's
Is
the
that your
starting
starting
five.
five? That's your starting five moving forward?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
I
yeah.
like that. I like that. Then coming off the bench, you're rocking with three, maybe two, maybe three guys on a nightly
Okay.
basis. 3 to 4.
I'm going with four.
Anthony Mellon,
You that's what you think?
for sure he's getting playoff burn.
I think he should too, but then that means you're gonna. Well, I'll go with him too. Like I think so
I
too.
okay, the two locks coming off the bench are Tyus Jones and Brandon Clark.
Brandon
I think those
Clark.
are two locks coming off the bench.
That's seven though. You're
Exactly.
talking about two more guys.
That's those are locks. And then you have D'Anthony Melton, who will be the third guy coming off the bench.
Yeah, I agree.
And then
And then
fourth is this is on. I do not
Concha.
think they're going 9 every night.
I'm going
You
with
go
Concha.
either Kyle Anderson, you have Conchar as an option, you have D'Anthony Melton as an option. Are you just not going to give him burn when it comes playoff time? Like he's been balling.
I think you're playing Kyle Anderson though. Just because he could bring playmaking. He played great in the playoffs too. He had a great playoffs. Remember?
Yeah, I want to see. I'm about to search that up. What was their playoff rotation game 4 last season?
Yeah, I'm going. Actually, I'm going with Kyle Anderson as the fourth guy.
You go Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, just because he had a great playoff. You know what I'm saying? And he's a great player. He could add a lot. He could help a lot with playmaking. Just you know what I'm saying, getting players open. He could score too. He's a decent shooter, not the best, but he could knock his shots down.
All right, so this is their rotation was at 9. No, yeah, their rotation was at 9. This was last season. So they had their starting five, and off the bench they had Grayson Allen, Melton played 23 minutes, Desmond Bain played 17, and then Tyus Jones. So last playoffs, Brandon Clark didn't even touch the court. That's kind of shocking. This
He was a
season, for
different player
sure, he's
though.
going to touch it.
He's a
What?
different player this season.
It's the Tyus Jones connection has really
Yeah,
helped him out.
but he's been great defensively though. You can't even deny that rebounding.
And the energy, yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy lob threat.
he plays a lot of big minutes for them, important minutes.
Moving
So
forward, come playoff time, who is like, what needs to break right for them? What is their, not necessarily a player, maybe they need to make this amount of threes a game, maybe they have to play this certain style. What is the X factor for them to win a championship?
what's the X factor?
Do they need to play certain teams? Is it, like, what do you see it for them?
I think the most important thing is can if they could be effective at half court.
Half court
Because
offense, for sure.
what they've been the best at all season was rebounding, not giving teams second options. Like that's great. That's good. That could definitely win you games in the season. But then in the playoffs, it's gonna. I mean, it's gonna matter. It's gonna cut down to way less more possessions. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come down to a lot more half court offense, and that's when the offense is gonna truly. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see the true offenses, and they're gonna have to score. You know what I'm saying? The numbers haven't been good. I don't know. Well, way before when we did them, I don't know now. You know what I'm saying? They were in the I'm saying they weren't even top 10 in shooting or fucking in
I'll
or in the
let you know right now who
but I
their
think the backcourt is gonna be the most important.
what their half court offense is per 100 possessions.
Yeah,
I'll let you
and
know
I
what
know
that
what
is
you
right
could give
now.
me on off on defense because they've been the best team on not giving second. You know, saying points.
Yeah, they were the best rebounding team in the
count,
NBA.
rebounding, defense. Defensively, they've been great too. You know what I'm saying? And they're dogs. They're all young cats. You know what I'm saying? They bring the energy out there. So I know what I'm gonna get from them. But the offense been there. You know what I'm saying? They be iffy. They be on and off there. And I think in the playoffs it's gonna matter a little bit because they're gonna have to score if they want to win.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Where are they? So I'm looking at their half court offense. Right now, they're ranked at 3 on points per 100 possessions in a half court,
Then you know what I'm
and
saying?
they're ranked 1 in putbacks and like second chance
Yeah,
points, like
second chance.
offensive rebounds and stuff like that. They have the highest offensive rebounding percentage in the NBA when it comes in
Yeah.
the half court as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's gonna. I think that's gonna matter a little bit more. But I mean, everything. You know, what I'm saying they're definitely a contender. I told you, they're. I had them have as of right now how everything's going. Not even trying to be biased or nothing. It's Suns, Grizzlies, Warriors,
I have the Mavericks in
or the
that group.
Mavs, or the Mavs.
I have the Mavs in the group with the 4 of them. Me personally,
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
I'm higher on the Mavs than most are. So
Yeah, the Warriors are Steph Curry's. We don't even know what's gonna happen with Steph. So that's just that is a me taking a stretch.
yeah,
But
but shout out to Jordan Poole for a fact. 17 straight games, 20 plus points, balling out of his mind right now.
that's ridiculous. Like
Where?
just to be doing that, you know,
Yeah,
see
for sure.
the confidence and then not even that they took you off the starting lineup, so you can get Clay Thompson back, and that kind of affected him at first. You know what I'm saying? Him getting trying to get the rhythm back into that rhythm. You know what I'm saying? But him coming back into the starting lineup shows you he's just good. He's a scorer. And I hope he could do that in the playoffs because they're gonna need that if Steph can't play, and if he's playing at that level and you go out there and win the first two series, are you gonna bring Steph back? No, you might as well hold him.
Hell no, bro. What are you talking about?
Depending
They're
who
not.
somebody playing.
If Stephen Curry doesn't play, they're not winning a series. And now you can
I
put
mean,
bread on
Jordan
that right
Poole,
now.
but
If
if
Jordan
Jordan
Poole's your best player in a playoff series, bro, you're not making it past 6 games.
17 straight 25 points,
I
is the
understand
best.
that, bro. I
This is the
understand
best
that.
stretch you could go to into the playoffs for him at
But
least.
they've been losing these games though. Like he's playing great basketball. But you just took it a step further. It was like, yo, if he's playing like this and they can make it 2 more rounds, you don't even bring Steph back.
But their
Like,
defense is
no
good.
way, bro. Hell no. What you gonna build around Jordan Poole?
I'm gonna just hold him. It depends on who they play.
All right,
I
so let me
even
ask you
said
this
it
question.
before.
Right now, who would they be playing if the playoffs ended right now? It would be Denver. Is it Denver? No, it would be playoffs ended right now. Warriors will be playing Utah. Do they beat Utah in a 7 game series?
Yes,
All right, that's debatable. That's debatable. All right, that's different.
yes, they do.
That's
That's what I'm
debatable.
saying. I even said it. I even said it. It depends on the matchup.
But you are a Jazz hater, though.
Jazz hater, no, I'm not. I respect Donovan Mitchell. He just, you know what I'm saying? That guy next to him that everybody gasses up is so overrated. You're saying now people starting to realize.
I don't
Even
think
the
he gets
teammates.
enough. His
Even the
teammates just don't
teammates.
like him, and his coach doesn't like him either. He had a role
Bro,
plays for
he's
him, bro.
overrated, bro. Can't do nothing else than just stand in the paint. And that's a fact. He can't even guard out the perimeter. He gets exposed every game.
When we get to All NBA teams, we'll discuss him
He didn't even make
straight like
it
that.
straight up, and
When we
I'm
get to
already
All NBA
saying,
teams, we'll discuss him. I have one more topic I want to bring up before we move on to that, though. No, two more. Speaking on the Warriors, their young core is starting to look crazy. Jordan Poole, the way he's playing, Kaminga's rookie season, the way he's playing, Moses Moody, the corpse of James Wiseman, draft pick this season, Gary Payton, whatever he could give you on offense if he could grow that game at all. Nemanja is not old, and Steph's gonna play till he's 50.
for sure. Nah, it's wild.
They're
They got,
they're probably in one of the best situations moving forward in the whole league.
yeah, for sure. And they were all playing good. It's just I'm saying they hit that little slump, but listen, they're all gonna learn from this season too. If it doesn't, they don't get the championship, and then you know what I'm saying instead you go having Clay coming back, have him for the beginning of the season, him having
Yeah,
actually his first actual like summer camp, him just you know what I'm saying healthy. If I hope that happens. So
yeah, for a
so
fact.
yeah, it'll be
Yeah, I think
wild. It'll
moving
be good
forward,
for them.
they're playing right now at this moment. They're playing with house money, but they're young with the players. How young their players are, with Clay, Steph, and Draymond not playing the last two seasons together. So like, they're just playing with house money right now. They could do what they want moving forward. This season's really not going to matter. And then we'll move on to All NBA teams. Now let's start off with
Sure.
first team is a lock. We also have these same players. I think the front court, not the backcourt. Backcourt's a debate. Front court, Giannis, Embiid, Jokic. This season they're being eligible at forward, so they have to. They're all three going to make it. You have the same one, correct?
Yes, sir. Luca, wait, you have Luca, Booker, Giannis, Joel, and Jokic,
Yeah, I
right?
have Luca Booker as well. We was talking about the guards here, but fuck it, we just put everything
Oh,
together.
my
We
fault,
both
my
have the
fault.
same list. It seems like what we do. We looked at the list. We usually don't. That's what keeps it suspenseful. But
Yeah,
we both have the same list, so it's not gonna be much arguing on this one. I could pull up Taha's list though. He just sent me his, so we could compare them like that.
yeah.
But I think
Ooh.
Booker.
Say,
I
go
think
ahead.
the biggest one is gonna be Booker on here because that was like the biggest one. I think people are gonna question. Is he All NBA first team player? Our award winning. You averaged 25, 5, and 5 on the best team in the NBA by far, by a landslide, on good efficiency. He's played defense this season. He's come in clutch. He's done everything you want from a top 15 player in the NBA. And that's what the All NBA is. It means you're top 15.
No, yeah, for sure. I agree, for sure. And even when CP3 went down, he went from averaging five, like you said, 5 assists to 7.8, pretty much like 8 assists a game, just taking that, you know, saying ownership and part of the team and just leading them. Obviously, he went down with COVID, missed a couple of games, but you know, what I'm saying he's been so good. He's been so good. Obviously, he's probably the weakest one. Obviously, the other guy that's next to him, like very close. Obviously, who's been playing good is Ja, same right there close. But he hits by the landslide because you said it perfectly. You know, what I'm saying he's the best team. You know, what I'm saying they've been the best team all season. Him just playing good, being efficient. That all matters. You know what I'm saying? And finally, man, finally give that boy respect. Oh my God! You used to say he was in the All Star, bro. I would never forget
Uh,
that. You said that.
Listen, I'm award winning. That's just who I am as a person. That's who I am as an analyst. That's who I am as when it comes to LNBA, all defense, everything. I'm reward winning. And he's become a winning player. He is not the same player he was a couple seasons ago. Like
Oh
that's just a fact.
man.
Even when he scored 70, he is not doing
Come
what he's
on, you
doing
see
now.
his teammates around him?
That's fine.
Don't even
That's
start.
fine. But moving on to his other backcourt mate, Luca Doncic, I think he has to be a lock for first team.
Yeah, for sure. He's
The
been
way his
balling.
team is playing, the way he's playing this season is a walking triple double like always. He could give you 30 on any given night. And just like D Book, his defense is way better this season than it was the previous years.
For sure. And another thing that you also got to take in consideration is that Porzingis left and they became even better. I'm saying
Yeah.
just because they showed that you know what I'm saying he was the main guy. Luca, you know what I'm saying Porzingis was out there. Obviously he was playing great. Like I'm not gonna take that out of him either because he was having a great season. But I'm saying they had a great center rotation and you know what I'm saying they made great moves. So that's good for him. He's been balling out. They're another team. They're like in the same situation as Boston. Started off kind of slow, but they turned it up. You know what I'm saying? Second part of the season. You know what I'm saying they've been balling. And Luca's been carrying them. You know what I'm saying Spencer Dinwiddie's been you know what I'm saying a great pickup for them. So he's just been making his players better, hitting his shots, and then in the playoff situation, damn, you know what I'm saying he's something else. So
Yo, if it's Mavs versus Nuggets, who's the best player in that series?
it's tough. It's tough. I
That's the
gotta watch it.
question.
But I'm talking. But it's obviously gonna be Luca. He's gonna have the ball way more and way
Is he
better
gonna have the ball way more than Jokic?
in opportunities where he's coming up the ball with it. He could call ISO.
Jokic does the same
You're not
thing though.
having yes, but you're not having Jokic ISOing you at the three. Luca could do that all playoff, and we seen it do it to the Clippers.
Yeah,
Come on.
it'll be just a tough question. I do want to add Taha's in here. He also had Embiid, Giannis, Jokic. That's one's not even a conversation. Those are lots.
Yeah,
He had Steph and John Morant. Personally, I do not know how he has Steph Curry first team.
yeah. Steph is a little
Steph is a
wild.
second team lock for me,
Second
just with
half
the
of
way he was.
yeah, second half of the season was horrible. Just inefficient. He too like he was just shooting bad. You know what I'm saying he had a bad stretch. You know what I'm saying he had his in couple of games in and out. You know what I'm saying he was just inconsistent. You know what I'm saying, but he had a couple of good wins. But you know what I'm saying. I don't know about first team. Just at the level that Luca is playing and Booker is just
Yeah,
wild.
that's
They've
right.
been consistent all season, so it's tough. But I
The
mean,
same
you know
way.
what I'm saying he's definitely an all NBA though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we move on to second team. I had him and John Morant. His first team backcourt was my second team backcourt. I had
For
Steph
sure.
and Ja. I think those two guys just even besides the slump that Steph had, he still was on when he was playing. He was on the second best team in the NBA record wise. In general, second best team in the NBA. He was still having monster games. Broke the 3-point record. He has some moments this season. Better defender than he was previous years. Like he was just playing great basketball. And John Morant, he's had probably the most. If you're talking about big moments in NBA, like memorable moments just this season alone, he has the game winner against Phoenix. He has the huge game against the Lakers where he gets the block off the backboard. Like he just
Yeah.
has all these crazy moments
Alley
throughout the
oops,
entire season. He has
points.
big games
Wow.
and then like monster games against huge teams. Like he balls out against when he plays against the Nets, balled out against Phoenix.
And he's gonna win most improved.
Yeah, he's probably a lock for that.
He is definitely a lock, and he's eligible for it. So he's you know what I'm saying that he's gonna get it. He's been balling out. He's if anything, he's been playing that top. He was a candidate for the MVP.
Yeah, he just
Past
missed a
Steph,
lot of games.
he passed Steph at a point. Yeah, he did. He was missing a lot of games too, and plus, you know what I'm saying the other guys were playing. You could tell the difference, but obviously he was like top five. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely like up there top five. Like he passed Steph, he took that fifth position. But shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody expected the Grizzlies to even be second in the fucking West except you. But
Except for
you
this guy. I had them second, but I had them third.
had
Third or
him.
fourth. I had them right there.
You had him
I had
fourth.
them yeah.
You had him
I
fourth.
had them third, but then I was like everybody was like, "Oh, you're crazy about having them over the Lakers." Everybody was coming for me for that one. But yeah, so I
Not
moved them
yet.
down. Pressure, I moved them down. But I'm still that's my second favorite team in the league.
Not for sure. They've been balling. John Morant's just going crazy. So you know what I'm saying? He deserved to be all NBA for sure.
And then my forwards room, I have Jason Tatum, LeBron James, and Carl Anthony Towns.
Sheesh. It was tough. It was tough. The win,
The
like
only
going.
the only one that was tough for me. Well, hold on. Say your three front court. It was the same, right?
I had the same thing. I had Tatum,
So
Braun, and Cat.
The biggest question mark for me was I think Tatum and Cat were locks at their position. Tatum just resurgence second half of the year was just monster. Great moments as well. Team best defense in the league, all that, the whole 9 yards. And then Cat for a center behind, he's just like he's not on the level of those two top guys, but he's a level above everybody else at that position. What he can do, best shooter ever at his position, at his height. Yes, better shooter than Dirk. You could argue with me. Scoring, passing, he did it all. His team took a big jump this year. But the question for me was Braun or KD.
Me
And
too.
I don't know why. I went Braun. Probably overall stats really put him over the edge. But he has some huge games. It's hard to because both of them they're like 10 seeds. So it's like hey, what can you really say? Winning is in the conversation. It's really based off of legacy is why I put LeBron
No,
second.
yeah, it's tough. You see, even if you look at the stats, it's like right there, close, like just edge. But I'm saying, Bron, it was tougher. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the Lakers had a high expectation, just like the Nets, right? But as the first 10 games went, we found out that the Lakers were not the Lakers that we expected, and the Nets were at first seed like the first 20 games. Like they had the first seed for a while. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what I'm saying, they went on a back stretch. So you know what I'm saying, I had to give it to Braun. Just you know what I'm saying, just the team around him. You know what I'm saying, we knew quick like Russell Westbrook was not gonna help him, and him putting that number at that age is just ridiculous. So it's just wild.
And he has some monster scoring games too.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to throw
Like
out
50-point games,
Taha's second team.
it's just wild.
This is surprising. So he has Trey Young and Luca Doncic as his backcourt in the for his second team, which is the Trey Young was a shock to me having him
Is it
on the
shot?
second team.
Yeah, second team. Yeah, it is tough.
That's high. Who having him over Devin Booker is like wow.
Yeah, because he didn't have him. Yeah, you was wrong. He was
And then
right.
he had the Tatum and he had Carl Anthony Towns. Then he had Kevin Durant over LeBron, which you can't really argue it. It really just depends on which player you lean towards more, what stats you like better, this and that. Moving on to where the real debate is at. All NBA 13. Starting off for me, backcourt, Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan. CP3 was a walking double double this season. One of the highest assist totals I've seen in a while. Like, as in, just like every night you check the box score, he's got 10, 12 every single night.
Like how? Like how can you average like over 10 assists, and like it's just ridiculous, the numbers. It's just wild, and it shows you he's the main. He runs the whole offense. And he just knows where everybody. He knows every play. He knows how to get. He knows when to run it. Everything. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to set up his teammates. Like he's just a great passer. He's a great leader. So he definitely deserves to be up there.
Yeah, I think that he was the clutchest player. DeMar DeRozan hit a lot of game winners, but as in closing
Fourth
out
quarter.
games,
Yeah.
5 minutes left, tight games. Chris Paul was the best at game managing and game winning this season. As in
Like,
just sealing W's for your team, just closing it out, making
he's
the
a
right
mid-range
decision.
killer. That's what he
Yes,
is.
mid range assassin
That
at his
that
height.
it's that floater. It's like that top of the key mid range. You know what I'm saying? That do you think that he's gonna pass it? You know what I'm talking about? That fadeaway. Yo, that's automatic. Man, CP3's been just he's been balling, man. He's just a mid range killer. So I had him too. I had him too. I had him up there. I had probably like you said it, the two clutchest player.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, and then DeMar.
so yeah, they're both. You know what I'm saying, been the two clutchest player pretty much. You know what I'm saying, Demar obviously his team is. You know what I'm saying, they're probably the second seed for pretty. They're holding it for a long time. They're up there top four for a pretty long time. But you know what I'm saying, injuries were a problem. But he's been consistent all season. You know what I'm saying, he was playing at an MVP level. Was another candidate this season. Yesterday he was definitely top five. He was playing great, just efficient at the mid range. He was just shooting so good. He had clutch moments too. That he won
Yeah,
big games for the Bulls.
yeah, the big moments for sure.
So yeah,
Exactly. And it's crazy because probably what 2 3 months into the season, he was almost a lock for a first team. The way he was playing,
for
it's just
sure.
the way the season's gone on. He had to make it. You cannot ignore the first 6 7 months of the season of what he's done. It's just the things that held him back from being even higher on this list was
It's
the
just to see.
it was the seeding and it was like the record against good teams. It's just
Oh
like
yeah,
such an eye glaring number.
but
It's
it's like
just
you can I understand about that, but like he's been playing. It's not like he doesn't show out against like those teams. Obviously, he has a couple bad, saying games against a couple of good teams, but you see most of them saying he's been consistent all season. Him averaging what like 27, 28 points. Like he's
yeah,
just been
he's
going
having a great
crazy.
season. Like I'm not, he's obviously he made an All NBA team for a reason.
Yeah.
I just reward winning, and that
No,
was
yeah,
just
for
like
sure. I agree. That's why he
that's
made
just a
my
crazy
13th
number.
too.
Like I see a lot of people having Zach Levine on an All NBA team as well, and I just don't. I can't get there with that one.
He's been playing good, but I mean, like closest to like we're gonna just talk about the guards right now. I think the closest, like we're talking about actual guards. I think I have
For me, was
three guards. I have
Trey
two
Young.
guards actual. Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell, and Trey Young.
Yeah, those are the two guards that were on the cutting room floor for me, for a fact.
That to make the 13. Those were the two guards I have like that were the only ones that came to my head. Like actually have a like you're saying been playing good and actually you're saying deserve to be on this list.
Underrated snub at a guard, who I think's had a great season, is Drew Holiday. I feel like he's
Oh,
just
you know
been
what's
really
crazy?
good.
I had him. I was thinking about. I
How you
had him.
considered him?
Yeah, I had him in consideration too. I just didn't put his number. I was like, damn, do I have too many people? Because I already had like four there. I was like, damn, do I put five? He was my next one. That's crazy that you said that. He's been playing good. He's averaging what
Yeah,
17.5 points. He's been
yeah.
efficient.
He's had a
Best
great
net,
season.
just best what's his called? Net numbers. Just like
Net rating.
yeah, net rating. He's just been so good. So he's been important for them, and he's another guy who's been you know what I'm saying getting clutch buckets for them for the
Yeah, he's
Milwaukee
been
this
great in
season.
fourth quarters. They've been good in fourth quarters all season long.
Yeah, and his shooting numbers are ridiculous this season. He's been so efficient. So definitely, he was another guy to be in consideration for the guards.
That's who Davion Mitchell got to strive to be like right there. Tell you that.
No,
I'm
I'm telling
telling
you,
you, Davion Mitchell plays like Drew Holiday.
he
No cap, bro.
doesn't, bro. He
Yo,
really plays like
watch.
Donovan Mitchell.
No, I'm gonna. No, he doesn't. Like, I'm sorry.
He does the mid
That's
range
such a
game and
that's such a
everything.
lazy take
No,
right
it's
there, bro.
not.
That's a lazy take. That's
He
a lazy
literally
take.
watches his clip. He has the same numbers. Come on.
I don't care about the number, none of that. Watch, I'm gonna do a side by side, like how they do with Kobe and Jordan. I'm gonna do the side by side. Watch, it's gonna be like it's gonna see when he hits a step back, it's gonna go from him hitting the step back to Drew Holiday pulling it up. I'm gonna make it,
Oh
and
man,
then I'm gonna post it up. You're gonna be like, damn, they play alike, no cat.
no, I don't
But
see it.
move forward to the two forwards on this. I had Kevin Durant. We discussed that before.
For
Self-explanatory.
sure.
Great season. Puts up numbers. Games played really held him back. If he played as much games, like if he played like 60 plus, like 65, almost 70 games, he probably would have made first team.
Yeah. How many years
Maybe
did he
I don't
have?
know.
I thought he had
I
like
think he's like
55.
52, like 51. It
KD.
was low. Yeah, it's low.
Damn.
So I think he might hit 55. And if he doesn't reach the criteria, we'll throw in a honorable mention at that spot. But Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
He
He had
had
a
to,
looking.
I was discussing this a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't remember where it was. I hit the group chat. I was like, yo, is Pascal Siakam making an all NBA team? And my boy is looking like it. Like it's really
Yeah.
looking like it. Like
I
he's
was
having
telling
just a tremendous season.
he was another guy. Remember I was telling you like earlier before they even sent that. Like I was telling you, he's been on a crazy stretch. I even sent in because we have a betting chat. And I was like, yo, you bet on Pascal Siakam for points. Like bro, it's 25 like straight 15 games, 17. He's just on the you're saying balling. He's just been good, and the Raptors been you're saying playing good, and they're playing around him. He's their main scorer when
Yeah,
they need a
I think
bucket.
he's like as the seasons progress, he's turned into their best player. Like I think this way
Yeah,
the season started, I think
yeah,
Van
for
Vliet
sure.
was their
He's
best
been their
player.
best scorer.
But as the seasons went on, I think he's just turned into not only their best scorer, but I think
And
he's their best
I don't know if he's
playmaker.
cutting out or it's me. I'm gonna
He's
keep on the
he's
show
just
going.
he's just had a great like passing season. So he's been their best playmaker, I think, this
You
season.
good?
Like Van Vliet, yeah, you hear me? I think like I was saying, he's had a great season, playmaking, scoring. He's probably gonna be an all defensive team snub this season. Like he just played great.
You good? Okay, good.
Was you have anything to say about Pascal Siakam?
No, yeah, he's been good. He's been good. You know what I'm saying? He's been their main scorer. He's just when they need a bucket. Now that he came back healthy, he has confidence. Now he has a great players around him that play around him. You know what I'm saying? And he's in a great role right now. He's in a great role. And he's comfortable in it. Great coaching. You know what I'm saying? Shooting wise, you know what I'm saying? He's a great play. He's a great scorer. He could handle the rock. He's a three-level scorer. You know what I'm saying? He's a great shooter too. So for sure. And
Yeah,
and that's another thing to be careful with the Raptors, man. They just a great team. They have fans back now, back in Toronto. It's tough to go play out there in Toronto.
yeah.
And that's what.
Unless you have Kyle Lowry on your team. It's like now we stop.
Yeah, that shit was a tight game, and they beat you up before that.
It's 2-2 on the season. For all that talk that we can't play well against the Raptors, it's 2-2 on the season. Straight
It's
like
all
that. Oh, I want to ask you though. Denver Celtics first round, no Robert Williams. How does that series? It will be a dogfight though.
Wait, who? You said who?
Celtics Raptors first round,
Oh, okay. I thought you said Denver, but yeah, that's tough.
3-6 or 4-5, however it ends up. Who are you picking in that series?
I'm going. This is gonna surprise you, but I'm going Raptors
How's
because
it taste?
it's gonna be tough because that big matchup, that big team that the Raptors and they have, it's gonna be tough for the Celtics, especially for Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. They're guys that usually like score off their mismatch. It's gonna be tough to mismatch the Raptors when you got all guys that could switch and Gary Trent
There's
Jr.
no mismatching.
deflection. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be tough. So I think it's probably a bad matchup for the Raptors, Celtics, but they could definitely compete. It's gonna be a great game. I think
Seven game
Pascal.
series
Yeah, I know for sure.
for
And
sure.
Pascal, I mean, we've seen Pascal. You know, saying
He plays
score.
well
He's
against
been,
them.
yeah, he's a playoff guy. You know what I'm saying? We see him play very well in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be tough. I would probably go with the upset, and I would go with the Raptors.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a team that none of the top teams want to face. Milwaukee, Miami, Philly, or Brooklyn. None of them want to play
For sure.
Toronto. They're gonna play hard for 48 minutes long. They're a team that's gonna cut the rotation to like 7, maybe 8 guys. Not even, probably 6.
Eight
You're gonna
guys.
get
Eight
you're
guys.
gonna
They
get
need.
a series filled with Fred VanVleet, who's like you can't back him down. He has the heaviest hands at his position. He's swiping down at everything. You can't post him up. Like he's defending everything. He's getting leads the NBA in deflections, and he's like 6 foot. Then you have to go up against OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam. Those 3 guys just switching onto you, causing havoc. 7 foot wingspans, athletic, could run the floor,
That's why.
could switch through multiple positions. All 3 of them could guard 1 through 5. Like, and then you have a spark plug in Gary Trent Jr. who could just go off for 40 on any given night.
And his defense just been great
Yes,
this season too.
perfect.
He improved so much on defense. Just quick on his feet, deflections is like he's been. You know, what I'm saying He's like what, top five, top 10 best players in deflections this season, like for
Yeah,
sure.
top 10 deflections this season.
At a point, he
Yeah.
was in first place in the beginning of the season, but he was so good. You know what I'm saying? He's been so good, and then you just named like pretty much the starting lineup, and then you look at the defense. You got Chris Boucher, Thaddeus Young. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm missing somebody else.
Oh, Boucher, Thaddeus Young, Precious Achiuwa is having a great season.
Precious
A
Achiuwa
good season
and
for
OG,
him. He's been
OG,
balling.
OG is gonna have to come off the bench because Gary Trent Jr. has been playing good.
No, it's you start.
OG
You don't.
OG usually comes off the bench though.
No, OG starts. Come on, bro. You're supposed to be the OG fan. OG starts. Is Fred, is Gary Trent Jr., then it's Scotty, OG, Pascal. Like those three guys are your front court. Like that's what they don't run centers. Pascal Siakam and Scotty Barnes have played center for a majority of the season for them.
Yeah,
Some
I
games
mean,
they'll go Ken Birch, but come playoff time, I think they're gonna play majority of their minutes with those two guys at center. But starting games, they'll probably go end up going Ken Birch or Precious, depending on the matchup.
you
But
think so?
yeah, depending on the matchup, they definitely. But if you're playing a team like them, are you really scared Al Horford's gonna kill you? That's what I'm saying. Like, are you scared about Al Horford? No,
I'm not. I
exactly.
wouldn't
So
be.
you just gonna you throw Scotty Barnes on Al Horford and you're straight.
He's not an athletic guy that could you see out rebound those type of guys, and their length is a lengthy squad. It's not like these guys are small. You go Scotty Barnes, what 6'9" with 7'2" wingspan,
Yeah, you got Scotty Barnes, Pascal, and OG. Those three
and then
guys.
Pascal like
Yeah.
all lengthy guys. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be it wouldn't be a problem for them.
So, quick question: if KD doesn't like isn't eligible, if he doesn't reach enough games, who is taking that forward spot?
Who's taking that forward spot? It will have to be Jimmy. That's the other guy I had like out of all the forwards, Jimmy would probably be the guy I go with. If
Me
he's
too. I think I would
eligible
go.
too though. I
He
hope he
has
would
he
be.
has games played. I checked. I think he's at 56. I think you need 55 is the minimum.
Uh-huh.
And right now, Kevin Durant is at 51. And how many games do they have left? They have,
Probably like 4 or 3. He's probably gonna hit 55
let's see, and
on the dot.
they have yeah 4 games left. So
Yeah,
if he doesn't sit out,
he's probably
then
gonna
he
sit
should be
out one of
fine.
those.
You think so?
Depending on the
It's just
standing, yo,
the
while you're
games that
right,
they're playing is they have Rockets, Knicks, Cavs, Pacers. So they have an easy stretch going to close out the season. But
the next
if you
game
want,
is tough. They're tough over there.
they've been
Those are
playing good.
games they always
The Knicks
compete.
been playing good. My
Yeah,
boy RJ Barrett's been balling. It's not even cap, but we talk about him every episode. But yeah, you probably go Jimmy for that last forward spot. And then the final center spot, it came between two guys. For Nico, it came to one, and
no.
that was it went to Bam. But the guy who's in competition with was Rudy Gobert.
For me, what Rudy Gobert, I didn't even have him, man. Another guy that was close, I think I was gonna give it to was Aiden. He's been consistent all
Yeah,
season.
Andre
Has a
Ayton.
lot of healthy. He's been healthy all season. Played a lot of games. Probably the most healthy out of the big three, if you consider him in the big three.
I mean,
That's
yeah, he's in
fair.
the big three. He played 56 games, so that's not even true.
It seems way more to be honest. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what it is? Because when he's out there, you don't notice.
because JaVale McGee, but
It's like I don't even want to.
he's
I
been
don't even want to
good.
try to disrespect him. It is because JaVale McGee's been so good when he wasn't there, so you don't even
Yeah.
notice for real. But
But
yeah,
he was really close. He was averaging the same thing.
I think there was
Uh,
another guy too. He was definitely close, like you said. I think
yeah.
Jared Allen had a case as well.
Yeah, yo, you know it's crazy. I had him up. I was thinking about saying, yo, but I be the. I know if I say Jaron, I'll be the only one up there.
I mean, if you had
But
him, you had him. I thought I
no,
was
I
gonna be
know.
the only
I'm
one.
not saying that just for that, but it was just been surprising because I know you guys wouldn't have him. We just had him as probably the one of the another guy most improved, best most improved. I think
Yeah,
we all had him like time. I had him in what the best in our
I
first
had him on
team.
my second most improved team.
I had him in our first team. I think. Did I? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you give it to Bam because for me, if they probably are gonna end up with the number one seed in the Eastern Conference if they want it, which they are. think you have to give them at least one guy on the teams. If you know first seed in the East with no All NBA players, it'd be kind of bold. But deep point candidate, he's averaging 19 a game, almost 20, giving you 10 rebounds, switching 1 through 5. He's giving you that. He's been he's been one of the best screeners in the NBA since he's gotten here as well. One of the best playmaking bigs. Like he just brings it all. He literally brings it all to the table, except for shooting the three ball. But he's the lob threat. He's shooting at a high percentage at the rim. Mid range has been iffy this season, but it's picked up as of late.
Yeah, for sure. I think defense has been the most important thing. It's just how good, saying he is. He could play one through. He could defend 1 through 5. And another thing, I don't know if you tell him about the crazy stat that he's leading this season. And
Oh yeah, I think he's at the top of the league in switches per game, which
so that's
is I think
why.
2 months because he's at I think 56 games played as well. So he's at the borderline. Like that's kind of crazy. That's nuts.
This
Yeah,
is like
just
what
giving you what he
20
gives you
something games in.
defensively. Yeah.
Wow.
So giving you what he's giving you defensively, and then putting up the 19 a game with 10 rebounds. That's just enough, in my opinion, for all NBA. Because the conversation with him and Rudy is you got to think that defense at least at like averages out, but then again,
Average is out. He can't even guard. He even guard 5.
for
What
example,
the hell?
how people could see it averaging out. Me personally, I think Bam's a better defender than him. Because I don't think he's as good as a shot blocker, but Bam could play multiple coverages. Don't maybe go when we get to
But Bam
defensive
is
player of
still
the
a
year.
good shot blocker. Like you don't have to be at the level of Rudy Gobert. Like obviously he's
Yeah,
a
he
great.
is. He
He's
could
from
play
the,
multiple coverages. Yo,
like,
when we get to
he's
deeper,
okay. He's a
our
great
award
shot
show
blocker.
next
I'll give
week,
you that. But
I'll go
he
on my Bam spiel.
cannot guard in the 1 through 5. I'll tell
He
you that.
can't. He can't. But that's it for all NBA teams though.
Yeah, that's. I mean, this
I
year.
want to give Tajas. I totally forgot for his third team.
What you saying?
His third team. I want to give Tajas all NBA third team. I totally forgot. He said it to
Oh
me
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
So third team is Donovan Mitchell, Devin
Mm,
Booker. So who was the guy that he had that we didn't have? So he had.
both the guards.
So yeah. So he
Donovan,
didn't
no,
have
no, no, no.
CP3.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he didn't have CP3, and he didn't have. He had DeMar DeRozan as a forward, so he didn't have Pascal Siakam. But his third team was Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James, and Rudy Gobert as his five.
Yeah, so he had Rudy in
Yeah, he
and
had Rudy over
Donovan
Bam.
Mitchell.
I was like, that's why I texted. I was like, you giving Utah 2 All NBA players?
Yeah, like it was so close. I respected Donovan Mitchell one. Like, yeah, I had him like it was like right there between him,
Yeah, he's
Trae
the
Young,
snub. If we were doing a
Young, and
snub team,
CP3.
if we were doing a snub team, he will make it.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was
forwards,
tough.
there probably be Jimmy and Zach. Is Zach considered a small forward?
Zach.
Zach Levine?
No, he plays a shooting guard.
He plays a lot of minutes at small forward. They don't have nobody, bro. DeMar plays power forward. Like you're pretty much not. Yo, for real though, you might just be playing the three. Now I gotta check. I'm
No,
going to clean the glass. I'm going to clean the glass. I'm checking the percentages.
DeMar DeRozan.
Zach Levine.
He's not playing the
All the
three.
positions, he's played 49% of his minutes at the three this season. It's 49-49 this season at the three and at the three and at the two. And then 2% of his minutes, which this is how many possessions was this?
At the guard, point guard.
At power forward.
Oh my god, what?
2%, so that's nothing.
That's what I
He
be
really
saying
just
because they don't have nobody, but they've been going through injuries, and you be talking mad shit about them. That's not.
you fold.
You were
Like
hating.
that. Am I hating?
That's the process.
Trust the process. The process is losing to good teams, bro. That's not a good process.
They've been
Bro,
injured. My boy's not playing. You know who I'm talking about.
everybody's been injured.
You know who I'm talking about.
Everybody's been injured. Like, what are we talking about, bro? DeMar and Zach LaVine have played majority of the season together.
They've been injured with Caruso,
Role players.
Lonzo.
Role
Um,
players.
what?
Are they not role players? Are those guys stars?
Lonzo's a star.
Oh my. Okay, we're gonna go to the predictions.
He's a star in my eyes.
If you just start your eyes, then you're blind, bro. Straight like that. If you just start in your eyes, you're blind. Moving on. Let's go to the predictions. First up, we have 76ers at Pacers.
Sixers.
Sixers, correct. Cavs at Magic. Give me
Cavs.
Cleveland.
They need to win.
They need it more than the Magic do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Rockets
saying.
at Nets. Give me the Nets.
Brooklyn.
Shout out Jalen Green, though. 4 straight 30-point games. Him and his buddy Josh Christopher, first pair of rookies to go for 30 in the same game.
That's fire.
Future's looking bright in Houston. We have Charlotte at Miami. Give me Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Psych.
Come on, Charlotte. They beat y'all. They're a bad matchup for y'all.
Yo, you think everybody's a bad matchup for us, bro? Stop throwing that term around. You literally said every team's a bad matchup for us. You said the Hawks, now the Hornets.
They are. They didn't beat y'all?
No, we beat them. We swept them this season.
The Hornets beat y'all.
When?
You guys did not sweep the Hornets.
Yes, we did. But I could look at it and see the past games. 111, 107, 104, 86, 114 to 99. We've blown them out 2 of the 3 games we've played them.
Yeah. They're going to beat y'all tonight.
They could. That would be better for them.
They need it more than y'all.
They do need it more than us. Hawks at Raptors. Give me the Raps in this one for sure. Oof, big test for the Bulls. Let's see if they can pull out. They play good against these type of teams. Bucks at Bulls.
Bucks.
Bulls. This is where they get their first win against a good team. Wizards at Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, give me the Wolves. 76ers at Thunder.
76ers at Thunder.
No, Trailblazers at Thunder.
They're going Blazers.
I'm going Thunder.
Even though the Thunder just beat the Suns with the G League team, which is
the Poku train's still rolling.
They had no shade, Josh Giddey, no Lou Dort, nobody
Yeah. Then we have Spurs at Nuggets. Give me the Nuggets. Give me the Nuggets. Give me the Nuggets. Grizzlies at Jazz. Give me the
Grizzlies.
Pelicans at Kings. Give me the Pels. Yeah, for sure. They wanted more. Then we have the 2 best teams in the conference. Lakers at Phoenix.
It's not April Fool no more. Now, obviously Suns, and if the Lakers lose tonight, they're officially out of the play-in tournament. So the Suns definitely gonna wanna get them the same. Definitely wanna make them suffer and end their season tonight.
Let's see. Moving on to Wednesday, Mavericks at Pistons.
Mavericks.
Yeah, Mavs. Then we have back-to-back Nets at Knicks. Battle of New York. Who's the best player in New York? I'm going with RJ Barrett.
Yeah, I'm going with the Knicks.
The Nets are going to win this game.
Yeah, I'm going with the Knicks.
Wizards at Hawks. The Hawks are going to win this one. Second, I have a back-to-back, but yeah, give me the Hawks.
Yeah, I'm going Hawks.
Celtics at Bulls. Damn, that's a tough stretch. Bulls, and then, you have Bucks, then the very next night you go to the Celtics. But the Bulls have played well against the Celtics this season. I'll probably go Bulls again. Go Bulls.
I'm going Boston now.
Thunder at Jazz.
Jazz.
The Jazz don't pull this one out.
They need a win.
And then we have Suns at Clippers.
Clippers.
Yes, sir. No, Suns. Clippers. The
yeah,
Suns
PG?
are going for their record.
Who's balling? The Clippers are.
Who's the best player in that game? PG or D-Book?
Nah, who's the best player in that game? Bruh, come on.
What, bro? What?
Don't even disrespect my boy like that. Do not disrespect PG-13 like that.
He's better than Devin Booker right now.
Yes, he is.
It's debatable, but I'll
He
do it.
would have been if he was playing consistent on season
It's
9.
debatable. It's debatable. And
No,
that'll do
man.
it. We'll be back
Injuries.
Thursday. Probably give our awards out.
Yes, sir.
And
Be out.